happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and today we are unboxing from Horsemen Studios in the Mythic Legions line. It is the Shadow Orc Grunt. Love the Mythic Legions. Travis actually got me hooked on these, and Kyle Peterson didn't help because he unboxes a lot of these on his channel as well. This is an interesting line because these are not cheap. Most of these cost about $50 a pop, but man, it is hard to argue with the quality you get with these. The figures themselves are fantastic, but it's a case much like the Cenozoic Warriors where they're not really based on nostalgia, and so because they're not based on nostalgia, people kind of, why do I need this, and because I think that is a big aspect of toy collecting, is we are buying back the stuff we had as kids, or buying stuff that was similarly that we had as kids, or properties that we wish we had as kids. This is totally its own thing, and I think that does maybe not hit for everybody. To me, I think these are great. I think I got this one on Store Horsemen, which is their website, for like $26, so about half price, which is still more than a retail figure nowadays, but cheaper than what they normally cost. As you can see, he's got a big old sword there, awesome looking armor. He's definitely going to work with those teeth there. Awesome armor and helmets. I mean, just a really, really cool looking figure. We got he's a Legion builder, so you can buy multiple of these if you so choose. Got a little bit of information on him as a character, the Shadow Orc Grunt Legion builder, of course. And then some really cool artwork on the back with some other characters you can pick up. I do know I have this guy, and there's a few others. I did unbox, I think, the Gladiator on the channel, who is also a Legion builder, really, really fun character. I think I own 5 of these total that I've actually unboxed. Only one on the channel. A few of these I wasn't collecting at the time, but these are great, man. I think they are really, really fun. It's more of a high-end collectible, but not as high-end as like a Super 7, and depending on the scale. Now, this guy right here, he's an ogre, so he's probably big. I think some of those are like 170, so that may not be everybody's cup of tea. But I think what I like about a channel like this, and I hope you guys enjoy it too, if you're a wrestling fan, I'll give you the wrestling, and I hope you enjoy that. If you're a Marvel or DC fan, you'll see that, and maybe some Spawn and some stuff that's your jam. If you're an 80s collector, there's the Transformers, the G.I. Joes, the Masters of the Universe, all that good stuff. But I think it's cool to check out videos like this, especially on toy lines that you don't know anything about, because it's something different, it's something unique, and it's something fun. And hopefully you guys feel the same way. It may not be for everybody, but I do enjoy it. So let's dive into it, of course. Removable packaging here. This is a lot more commonplace now with the big rubber guys and some of the other characters, or some of the other figures we have in the market. Where even the retros, I think even Mattel's doing them like that. So lots of different pieces of armor here, including an alternate head. Got a couple of different weapons, a couple pieces of armor, a little bit of information what we got here. The joints can be tied after production when posing, blah, 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 blah. So be careful, run it in warm water if need be. All that good stuff. Haven't broke one yet, but like I said, the first one I got, he was this Black Knight, and he was a really cool looking character. And I remember really being impressed with like just the figure itself, being like, wow, that thing is awesome. Like, it's a really, really nice looking figure. And yeah, these may not be for everybody because, like I said, they are on the expensive side. There's no denying that. But it's a really, really fun piece. And so to me, I dabble in these. I try to stick to the 6-inch scale, the $50 price point, because I don't like to go above that because they do get expensive. The joints are definitely stiff. Very, very sharp pieces on here. So, but it definitely has modern articulation and all that good stuff. Very, very cool. Love the helmet as we saw. Like, this piece is removable. There's an alternate head. Love you can move the horns. I mean, the articulation on these is just top notch. But the joints definitely are stiff, so you want to be careful there. You don't want to bust any of those bad boys. I'm sure it does happen though. I haven't had to deal with customer service from for Horsemen, so hopefully it's good. I would imagine they seem like a good company, so I'm assuming that it is, but I don't really know. So again, your mileage may vary on that type of stuff. Got a baggie full of stuff. I know these belts come with all the figures. I don't typically use those, but it would be nice if you want to, holster the sword or something like that. We got a secondary head here. So different type of head for the character. So different type of helmet, essentially. But I actually like the horns, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. But it is cool. The teeth are a little bit different here too. So again, kind of make it your own, which is fun. Some armor pieces. I know a lot of the other characters had these as well. So you can pop these in right here. Maybe. Yeah, it's not wanting to. I know it goes right there. Yeah. Sometimes that is the problem with this stuff. It doesn't like to pop in when you want it to. And I'll just throw it on the ground. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? See if this one will pop in. It's almost like it's not lining up right. Is it supposed to go on this side? It doesn't feel like it should because the armor would be off, but yeah, I don't know. So that one, yeah, it's not wanting to go in hardly at all. But again, this might be a case where I need to warm it up. But it kind of goes over the shoulder, as you can see. But to me, not totally necessary. It might look a little bit cooler armor-wise, but I feel like it's going to mess with your playability in a way. So maybe that's not for me. I will say, he's got those claws on his hand, and they are sharp, too. Alright, let's get the sword in his hand. Maybe. There we go. Big old freaking sword. You would definitely not mess with this guy. There's also been several Mythic Legion characters that are He-Man inspired. I do have a few of those. I know there's a Stratos figure, there's a Mossman figure, Many Faces, where you can tell the color scheme and kind of the look of the character. Buzz Off, I know they did. And I think back in the day they even did He-Man and Skeletor and stuff, but those are, more retired, so probably very expensive to come by. But I think that's kind of cool. You can see that they definitely have the He-Man inspiration with these characters. So let's pose this guy if we can. These usually do stand up well, which I do appreciate. Oh yeah. Got his battle axe there. Got his pieces of armor. Lots of cool stuff. So, got plenty of accessories, but also we're not over bogged down on accessories. Do have an extra head, which is kind of fun. So again, you can kind of make this your own. But I think it's pretty cool. I think the Shadow Orc Grunt is a fun figure. I will say my thumb's almost about to bleed just from moving all those parts around because they do get sharp. But what do you guys think? The Mythic Legions, maybe not for everybody, but I think it's definitely a fun type of line. And I have more of these I do want to unbox. I do know with the expensive price tag, they are hard to pick up all of them. But I did see somewhere where I think at an upcoming Legion Con, they're doing this little special where it's like a build your own figure. And it's like you pick the torso, you pick the legs, you pick the armor, you pick the helmet. I'm like, well, that's freaking cool. But again, I think a collection like He-Man, I've been collecting Masterverse. It's like, oh, I need a Beastman, so that's the Beastman I want to get. I need Merman, that's the Merman I want to get. I want to get a Buzz-Off, that's the Buzz-Off I want. So it's kind of weird when there's like multiple choices. So it's like almost like you're developing characters instead of picking characters. So the way we collect may change from time to time with stuff like that. So again, your mileage may vary, but these are really cool. These are super fun. I love the fact that you can remove the armor and kind of make it your own. If you had a couple of these, I think it would be kind of cool to maybe put the different head on and put a piece of armor on the side of his arm there. You could take this thing off even, and there's a lot you could do. And let's see how easy it is to remove the head. Well, and I just knocked that thing off. I did not know that was removable. Hopefully, I don't think that broke. I think it literally just popped out. But, yep, absolutely, just pops right out. Huh. But see, again, I think that's what makes these figures cool. Like, you could do this, and that's another helmet for this guy, right? And I don't know if these are, no, those are not removable. But again, so you could actually get 3 of these and essentially do 3 different characters all as one. So that's what they talk about when they say Legion Builder. That's kind of what you're doing, is you're building your own team of guys with one specific character. Does make it interesting, does make it unique. But yeah, overall, I like these a lot. But let me know in the comments down below if you're into the Mythic Legion style figures or if this would be something you'd pick up. But maybe, price-wise, that's something you stay away from for that reason. Either way, sound off in the comments down below. Of course, check out my other unboxing videos every single week. This week, I unboxed a couple of really good ones. On Monday, I dove into McFarlane Toys Super Friends Lex Luthor. Really, really fun. Excited to dive into that one, obviously. So check that out. Love the Super Friends line, and Lex Luthor, of course, one of the greatest villains of all time. So I had to get that one. On Wednesday, I dove into Marge Simpson with Maggie Simpson from the Simpsons Jax line. Love that one, of course. And then on Friday here, we got the Shadow Orc Grunt. Again, I try to give you guys variety. I try to give you different figures every single week. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. Of course, check out What's on the Pegs, dropping every Saturday to see what I'm finding out there on my toy hunts. Always a lot of fun and different stuff that I'm finding out and about when I'm hitting the streets, as they say. And then, of course, once a month, Tales of the Toy Box. Episode 5 is now available, or it should be as of this recording, all about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Series 1. Always a lot of fun over there. And, of course, also follow us on TikTok at TB Toycast. Starting to be a little bit more active with that, showing different toy lines from the history of toys. So that's a lot of fun there. Check out TB Toycast on TikTok. I think that's it. Also, the TB Toycast podcast dropping every Thursday. Me and Travis cover a different toy line, as well as diving into all the news and happenings of the toy world on that particular week. So check that out as well. Thank you guys very much for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That is the Shadow Orc Grunt. And we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.